Paul Ryan has emerged from the woodwork, and he probably shouldn't have, given what just happened to him on live TV. He is now calling for unity after being anti-Trump throughout the entire election cycle, and you're going to want to see what happened to him in this clip you're about to see. Also, Trump Treasury Secretary nominee Scott Bessent testified before the Senate today, and Bernie Sanders tried to go after him hard over how all of the sudden the United States is an oligarchy. Bessent made him look really, really bad. This did not go well for good old Bernie Sanders. Let's take a look.
When you have a small number of multi-billionaires who have enormous economic, media, and political power, would you agree with President Biden, who last night stated, and I quote, "An oligarchy is taking shape in America of extreme wealth, power, and influence that threatens our entire democracy, our basic rights, and freedoms," end of quote. That's what President Biden said last night. I agree with him. Do you?
Look, the three billionaires who you listed that all made the money themselves. Mr. Musk came to the country as an immigrant.
I understand that, but what I'm asking you is, when you have a handful of people like Musk, who will soon be part of the Trump administration, and others, when you have three people owning more wealth than the bottom half of American society, when these people have enormous influence over the media, when they spend huge amounts of money in both political parties to elect candidates, what Biden said last night is we're moving toward an oligarchy. I'm asking you that question. Do you think, forget how they made their money, do you think that when so few people have so much wealth and so much economic and political power, that that is an oligarchic form of society?
Well, I would note that President Biden gave the Presidential Medal of Freedom to two people who I think would qualify for his oligarchs. So
this is not a condemnation of any one individual. I'm just asking you, would so few people have so much wealth and power?
But
do you think that that is an oligarchic form of society?
Senator, I think it depends on the ability to move up and down the income.
No, that's not really the answer. I mean, even if you had that mobility, no matter who those individuals might be. All right, but let me ask you another question.
Really funny how all of a sudden, because Elon Musk supports Donald Trump, that the Democrats now want to cry oligarchy. The three people that he's talking about right there, Elon Musk, Mark Zuckerberg, and Jeff Bezos. Bessent's response there about Biden referred to George Soros' son receiving the Presidential Medal of Freedom. A sharp response, given that he's the heir of the Soros fortune, not self-made like the entrepreneurs Sanders is referring to, who, oh, by the way, built and created products and services that are incredibly valuable to the world. We want the connection between offering one-of-a-kind value and being one-of-a-kind rewarded for it. This is what powers America. Not a good look for Bernie. And finally, speaking of not looking good, Paul Ryan went hard anti-Trump this past election cycle. And here he is now calling for unity and getting ripped apart for it on live TV. Watch this.
So now you're calling for unity.
I am calling for unity.
Well, that's nice.
Yeah.
Would have been nice before the election.
He won. Look, he won.
And the other thing I thought was funny that you said was when you said, hey, look, I want Trump to succeed. You know who that sounds like? It sounds like a Democrat. It sounds like a Democrat saying,
well,
you know
I hope
what?
the Democrats sound like that.
Well, of course you want Trump to succeed. You're a Republican.
Here, look, I'm a conservative Republican. I'm a free market, limited government.
No, but you know what I'm saying. That's who I hear.
Yeah, but my
saying
brand of conservatism doesn't always overlap with Trump populism.
I understand, but it was binary. But you know, we argued about that.
I know we argued on and off the
binary
camera.
all along. It was always binary, and a vote not for Trump was a vote for Kamala Harris. Can you imagine?
I know you want to get back at this.
Huh?
Here's the point. A lot of this agenda, my kind of conservatism, Trump populism, it overlaps.
Okay.
We disagree on trade and things like that. I'm not with trade fights on China, but
right.
I'm not a big fan of all the tariffs on our allies. But the point is, all this other stuff, the tax policy, the border policy, the deregulatory policy, very good for America, very good for the economy.
Don't sacrifice the good for the perfect.
It only gets done if Republicans stay unified. And I think it's important that Republicans stay unified.
Okay.
I used to like Paul Ryan, but for him to come out now and say that he has a lot of overlap with Trump, Trump was already president. He knew what Trump had to offer as far as economic policy goes. So for him to pretend that now he's on board because of this new overlap, like, no, I'm not buying it. The political winds have shifted, and now he's jumping on the bandwagon. Typical politician, and what a shame, because I thought that Paul Ryan was actually better than that.